the Suns elite? Nana tweeted earlier that they're an elite team, and I said I don't consider the Suns elite. Am I shortchanging them?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
They're elite.
They're a good team. They've been playing really well. They've been playing really well.
Elite, not if they're good.
They're a big three and some role players. I don't think they're elite.
I think recently, when they hit their groove, they've started to turn into an elite team. I mean, I think their last, I don't know how many games they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They've won 12 out of their last 16.
How are the opponents?
They beat the Bucks. They beat
Bucks are sus.
The Mavs. Like it's a mix. It's a mix. Like it's mostly mid teams here, but like I would say they're a good team. I would say they're a good team.
I exactly. So I'm not selling them short because I didn't say they're not good. I said they're not elite.
I mean, elite. You mean like Boston, Denver, OKC? That's
I don't even know how I feel about Boston because I just feel like we have their numbers, so it's hard for me to look at them as that. And those are my guys, y'all know that. But like,
you're saying like tier one contender.
Yeah, elite has to be what, like the Nuggets, I suppose, because even though OKC and the Wolves have like really good schedules, I mean records, I still don't believe in them yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's any team in particular that's super scary. Like, there's great teams. I think Denver's like when Denver turns it on, they're extremely hard to beat. But I don't think they're unbeatable. And outside of Denver, I like the way the Warriors look against pretty much any other team. I like the way they look against Denver too. But
I like the way they look against Denver too.
Especially against everybody else. Like, I just was like, line us up, best of 7, and see what happens. Right?
I think they can beat any team. I really do.
I think they can beat any team as well. I think they can beat any team as well. It's definitely going to take them. It's going to take Clay coming back and playing better. He can't play like this, and if he play like this, they're not beating good teams. But yeah, I would say okay. Phoenix is good. They're a good team, but like
they're a good team.
They're good to very good.
Yeah, and this is the beginning of them stacking up wins, that's really good, right? They got the Jazz, Clippers. Jazz should win at least 2 of those. I'm not going to make any predictions.
Clippers is a good. They're playing well. I mean, they've lost a couple recently, but. And I hate this because I don't ever want to be right about no teams except the Warriors, but the Clippers are a very good team, and I said they would be a very good team, and everyone was like, I don't know. But I've said it on multiple occasions on TV, other places. I tweeted it.
Kawhi's been healthy. That's been.
They are.
I was gonna say she finally hits it this one time, right?
No, it's not this one time because
I'm saying it's finally coming to fruition because
but the Clippers are always good.
The
Clippers are always good. Their issue is always injuries. You know, people will act like they're just like fail. But any team that you make a prediction for, it's always barring injuries. So that's the thing. Yes. But people treat the Clippers like they just choke like they're James Harden, and that's not what it is, you know. And so that's what I'm saying is like the Clippers without Kawhi, Paul George leading them, took the Suns to 6 a few years ago, right? Like Kawhi's there, they definitely win that game, and they go on to the finals instead of Phoenix. So all I'm saying is that I get why people are like, I'm not going to take the Clippers seriously, but the Clippers are a very good team.
I put them in the elite tier.
Yeah, I respect the Clippers more than I respect the Suns, to be honest.
For sure.
So that's easy.
Is it? I don't know that a lot of people do because they'll be like Kevin Durant.
No, I mean they're always talking.
You're saying no, but I don't think that's how most people think of the Clippers.
Yeah, I mean,
if you look at the odds and you look at things, it's always the Suns are still up there, and you're always like, why did the Suns have such good odds? It's because they're like Kevin Durant. I don't know how many times Kevin Durant can lose and still get the benefit of the doubt that he does. You know what I'm saying?
But that was how everything was with the Clippers. They've always put the Clippers. Oh yeah, like the Clippers, they could be in the finals. They could be in the finals, but always the injuries kept happening. But yet and still, without anything being proven, they kept putting the Clippers there. So for me, I'm kind of just like,
but the difference with the
everybody's
Clippers is
always
that
talking
they
about
have
the
a good
Clippers.
record right now. When the Suns were at the bottom
Now,
of the standings,
yes.
they were still in finals. They were still being put
That's
at, like,
fair.
yeah, there's a difference. It's like with the Clippers, it's like based on their Kawhi Leonard's a champion, right? So he deserves that kind of respect, I suppose. But the records at least have to match it, right? With the Suns, they were a team that like came together. They hadn't done anything. They came together that first year, a bunch of pieces. They didn't do much that first year. Then this year, they were struggling, and people still had the Suns as like one of the top teams to make it. So they are playing better now, fine, but I don't know. To me, you've had multiple years of Devin Booker choking in the playoffs, literally, right? Like they went up against Luka. They played other teams. Kawhi went up against Luka and embarrassed the shit out of him. I'm just saying, like, I just feel like Kevin Durant wasn't there then, but I'm just saying, like, to me, the Suns have shown more choke artist tendencies when it matters than the Clippers. And yet somehow, just because Kevin Durant, and it's really about Kevin Durant, because Kevin Durant's on the team, they get this crazy benefit of the doubt. When I've seen Kevin Durant swept, when I've seen,
somebody else was swept too, but they still. Oh, you know what?
Who?
Not this.
Who?
Not
LeBron.
here.
She's some of the Lakers.
Yeah, we know, but I'm just saying. So that's all I'm saying. Like I respect the Clippers. I think people should not take them lightly as a team, right?
Oh, I don't think so.
They're
Not this season for sure.
They're an elite. Like, see, you look at them and you think they're elite. I do too. So when you look at the Western Conference right now, because things are going to change, but you look at the Western Conference right now, who are the teams you think we match up well against? I know you think we can beat any team, but who are the teams you think we match up well against? Like, who would be more favorable? Just, right now, who's out there?
Match up the best against.
And take into consideration the changes that the Mavs just made, because I like their pickups. I like the pickups they got at the trade deadline.
Yeah, nobody's worried about the Mavs. No,
I'm not worried about them. I'm just saying I like their pickups.
I like their pickups too. I think we match up well with them, though. I think we actually match up well with the Clippers, despite them being an elite team. Mm-hmm. It's the teams that are like huge, that are like, it's a little
huge.
Minnesota's huge.
The Lakers.
The Lakers aren't huge. They have Anthony Davis and LeBron, who are like big and also very athletic. I think that in itself, it kind of mucks up the Warriors' offense a little bit because they can switch everything. They always have some form of rim protection at the bottom, even if
and the refs,
the refs love them. I like our matchup with OKC. I'm not gonna lie.
We should have won like 2 of those games against OKC at a minimum.
Actually,
we've been in dogfights with OKC with OKC all season, with multiple guys either out, like just not playing, or just playing like trash. Mm-hmm. So I feel like best version of Warriors beat OKC fairly easily.
And can beat them in OKC. I'm not trying to dismiss them because they've done great this year, but they don't worry me.
They're falling off right now.
Yeah,
and the Wolves don't actually.
The Wolves don't worry me either. I'm just thinking about like matchup purposes. Like I think, like I said, like you said, I think they can beat anybody. But as far as the best possible matchups, it's the other small teams, because nobody's going to small ball the Warriors better than the Warriors. So like I think the small ball teams are the best matchups for the Warriors because they're going to just lock them up completely, and you can't stop Steph. So those are the teams we match up best against, in my opinion.
And those are
OKC, Clippers, Dallas. Who else is a small ball team in the West that's like in the playoffs?
What about like the Pelicans?
The Pelicans, yeah, they're kind of like a smallish team because Valanciunas is not going to play like a lot of minutes against the Warriors. So like Pelicans, I think they match up well against them too because Zion never plays well against Draymond, and if Zion ain't playing well, they're dead in the water.
If the season were to end, the Warriors would play the Pelicans in the play-in. So that would be.
Well, the Warriors aren't there yet.
Yeah,
We're in
I don't think the
10th,
Warriors are
right?
going to end up in the play-in. I got a feeling they won't end up in the play-in, but I guess we got to wait and see. I don't want to jinx them, but
They can get as high as 5.
I agree.
Isn't it 10 teams? The 10,
Yeah.
7 versus
Mhm.
Warriors are in 10.
Oh, they jumped to 9.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was like, I thought we were in
They
10th.
weren't updated. Okay, so they're 10th now. But
The Kings are another team they match up well against.
Oh,
I was gonna ask you about the Kings, but we already know that.
Kings. Defense.
And remember, the Warriors have some games to make up, and we don't know where those are going to be put in. I'm just saying that matters in terms of back-to-backs, because they have to
I
make up.
think they put them in already.
Oh, they did?
One of
Yeah,
these Utah games coming up is a makeup game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is it just 2 games they have to make up?
Yeah. It's Dallas,
Dallas,
and Utah. That's it. It's
It's just
Dallas
2
and
games.
Utah.
And they made up the Atlanta game last week.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess the teams that I would say they match up, I guess, not the best with is the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Timberwolves, just because of their size on the inside. But other than that,
they're in the Kings right now are in 5th place, and they have 21 losses. The Warriors have 25. We actually have less losses than the Lakers, but they just have more wins.
They've played more their games.
And they've played more games.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I never pay attention to that. I pay attention to that. I only pay attention to the loss column.
Yeah, that's the only thing I look at.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. So they actually have less losses than the Lakers. So really, I consider them in 9th place.
Gotcha.
And going back to
why are you laughing at me? I'm saying because it's the losses that matter.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
That's
and I'm with you. With
you're laughing at me. I didn't understand. I didn't know why you were laughing at me.
And going back to your question to Justin about them rattling off some wins coming up, I mean, once you get past the All-Star break, you've got Charlotte, Washington, Toronto, Chicago, San Antonio twice, Memphis. I mean, these are all winnable games that you can start stacking wins.
They have the second easiest strength of schedule in the league from this game, from this point to the rest of the season. Like, they should stack up some wins.
Big. That's huge.
Man, listen,
huge.
If the Warriors end up being in the top 6 after the way they started,
Steve Kerr, coach of the year.
Vibes will be through the roof on this show.
listen, we started out really good. Because we started out with a very tough schedule on the road, and didn't we go like 6-2? And we thought, hey, we are doing it.
We started out good, but it was for a very short time period. That was the issue.
It was, and that's when it all just,
Well, that's when Draymond started acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But see, this is what annoys me. What's going to get lost and however far they come back, right? Because Steve Kerr is going to get credit. He's going to get credit, right? And people are going to overlook the fact that Jonathan Kuminga wasn't playing, right? Things like that. And then they're going to do one of these things with Draymond as well, where we all know how important he is to the team. But it's going to be like, well, I already see the narratives being stupid. I can't worry about that because at the end of the day, I want the Warriors to win. But that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. And then they're going to come back to that stupid quote like where Steve Kerr was like, no, I think this team can do something special. You know what I'm saying? They could also have a better fucking record if you would have just played Jonathan fucking Kuminga a long time ago. And, like they wouldn't be this bad. I'm not saying that the Warriors would have been like at the top of the standings, but they could have had a better record.
Yeah. That's true. A little bit of
they could have been about 5 or 6 games above 500, right? They could have looked more like a Dallas right now.
Yeah.
if you made different decisions?
There's so many. I mean, there's so many. That's probably one of the biggest things for sure. That if you flip, it changes the outcome. But like, so many different things gone wrong this team this season. It's just annoying. Like, but they righting the ship now, so let's keep it going.
Getting healthy at the right time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, Draymond wasn't hurt. He was just
right. That's the thing. That's the thing.
But getting Gary back is huge, and if he can stay healthy, that's a monster.
Having the team whole is always the most important thing, for this team. We know that, whether it's because of injury or any other reason, right? They're just not built to withstand. I mean, they're not. I don't know that some teams are better built to withstand players being out, but I think the problem is that the person out for a lot of it was Draymond, and the Warriors aren't built to withstand him being out. Just like if Steph was out for a long time, they would, they're just not built for one of those two guys to be out, right? Like they can get by with Gary being out, get by with, whoever being out, but not Steph or Dre.
Yeah. They at least won't be a good team. They definitely could have won. I mean, they played so many clutch games where it could have went either way. Their margin for error just becomes razor thin when Steph or Draymond is out. Well, if Steph is out, you're probably not winning shit. But when Draymond is out, like, it's like you can probably still win a few games here and there, but you have to be damn near perfect offensively. At least your defense is not going to be good. So you got to be on point on offense, and they just were on the wrong end of a lot of those 50-50 games. So
just looking at the standings right now, though, Greg, I think the teams in the top 10 right now, these will be the 10. Do you agree? Or do you think someone else like a Utah or Houston gets in? I mean,
no, I agree with you. I like the Pelicans, the Mavs, the Lakers, and the Warriors all there. I do like I like it to switch around, though. I think the Warriors are going to jump some of those teams.
I agree.
They can absolutely jump the Lakers. They can absolutely jump the Mavericks, and they can absolutely jump the Pelicans. I don't think the Pelicans are that good. Like, I think they're just getting lucky, and I mean, they're 31-22, but I don't really think they're that good of a team.
The Warriors only have 4 more losses than the Kings, and the Kings have been inconsistent this season. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said they can get as high as 5. I don't think they can catch any of the teams in the top 4, but if one of these other teams just lose a couple of games.
Yep.
Yeah, the Kings' schedule is about to get nasty. So they got the Thunder, the Suns, the Nuggets, 3 in a row, all on the road. They play the Spurs. Then they play the Clippers on the road. They play the Heat, and they play the Nuggets and the Timberwolves on the road. Back to those games as well. They play the Bulls, and they play the Lakers on the road. Yeah, it's about to get nasty for them. Bucks, Lakers, Knicks, back to back to back. So they're going to start falling.
And the only reason they beat Denver on Friday was because Denver was coming off a back-to-back.
Denver should have beat them still.
Them out of the water because Denver played the other night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Phoenix could move up to 5, and then that 6th spot could just be wide open for all these other teams to try to take.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I like the Warriors' chances to get there.
Nurk said that Draymond didn't learn his lesson.
I saw that.
Yeah, basically that he doesn't deserve a second.
He said, "I take back what I said. He don't deserve it."
Yeah, he don't deserve a chance. It's just if everybody was watching the same game, you were the one trying to bait him, and he kept his cool.
Right. Weirdo.
I gotta give it up to him. He kept his cool.
If the man laid hands on me in any way, shape, or form before, I'm not, so I'm not even mad at him, but this is just funny. He keeps having funny lines. The brother needs hope.
Right.
And now this, I can't be mad at him. If you put any kind of hands on me, hem me up, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? That's it. So I'm not even mad at him for that, but that's just funny. Like, bro, your baiting of him didn't work, man.
It won't. I mean, it won't work
That's why
anymore.
I was just like, if you watched, it was like, wait a minute, dude, you were starting with him.
Right.
He wasn't even studying you.
Oh
It literally fueled Draymond. It did not get him to do
Once
anything.
he did that,
Yeah.
It fueled him.
Once he did that too small thing,
I was like, oh yeah,
I was like, here we
Ray
go.
turned up.
And Draymond.
But did y'all beat how everybody came around Draymond though? Because they was like, listen,
Don't do that.
we don't even want nothing to start up,
Yeah.
dude. Like they
Plague with that
corralled
tech.
him like quick. Like
I'm looking
yep.
at all the
Like,
teams right now in the top 10, and the Phoenix is the one I dislike the most, or it might be the Lakers. Like those are the two teams
I was gonna say,
that I don't like. I really
I
dislike
know
both.
who my number one is, though.
Who?
The Lakers.
Lakers.
I don't know if we'd end up even seeing the Lakers though, just based on the way the seating is. But I really don't like. I look. I still would love for Steph to be KD in a playoff setting.
Again. Another one.
No, but I mean, like since he left, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I would love that. And I know Draymond would relish that too. They probably would relish the rematch though with the Lakers too, after the way things went last season.
That would be a pretty nice move right there.
I don't know.
Because that game was even. So
I don't really dislike any of the other teams. You guys feel any type of way about the rest of them?
Denver annoys me just because Jokic gets the whistle every time, and it's just so annoying. So yeah, Denver just annoys me.
But Denver's probably going to be one of the last teams standing. So if they see them, that's just who you got to see. Yeah. But before that, be interesting.
Well, I get annoyed about Shea's whistle. Like that is just so disgusting to me.
I mean, everybody's whistle is good against us.
Everybody.
But Shea's whistle good against everybody. Had Ant Edwards calling it out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. When you play the Warriors, Luka's whistle was crazy. Shea's whistle was crazy. Kawhi's whistle was crazy. The Lakers, Booker's whistle was crazy.
Anybody on the Lakers,
players you're naming, they all also do a lot of like whining and twerking and just so much for the reps. It's like exhausting. Luka's whiny, yo.
Oh yeah.
So is Booker. That's why Booker annoys the crap out of me. All he does, anytime he drives the lane, he doesn't even get touched. And the first thing he does is complain that there was a foul. It happened tonight. Dude,
I understand why the fans didn't vote for him.
I can't stand Booker. Cannot stand him.
Interesting. I guess that's y'all ain't want to vote for me to be a starter. Look now.
Yeah.
They better get it together because I'm already thinking about all NBA teams. So, but the way Steph is playing right now,
he should be in MVP talks, but we know how that always goes.
It's probably late for him to make any real noise in the MVP combo. You got to like being there from the beginning.
Yeah.
But he's actually been playing like that.
Yeah, but you gotta be MVP combos. You gotta be in there from the beginning. Like he could have a late surge, like the way he did a couple of years ago, but that'll maybe get him like a top 3 vote. He's not going to overcome guys who are at the top already, who have had like good records all season and playing well all season. That's just not how MVP works for anyone. Like anyone,
it would have to be something unprecedented. It would have to be something like they win like 30 out of 33 games, something ridiculous.
Right. It would have to be like it doesn't work like that for anyone. You got to be there from the beginning of the season and the team, because you also have the fact that like the team's record, which does matter for MVP, and like they haven't been good for like a very long. They haven't even been in anyone's top power rankings, and they should not have been for a majority of the season. So it's just I'm not even thinking about MVP, but I'm just like, I don't want him getting less than second team All NBA. And remember, this year, All NBA is positionless.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. All-Star is going to be interesting too. Steph's coming off the bench, so you think he ends up playing more minutes than the starters?
You know what? I hope that he like stays on the bench just like all the other, reserves and all that who get picked every All-Star and they just be chilling on the bench. That's what I want Curry to be doing. Just chill. Come in for a little 3-minute stint. And
who's
then
the West
have
coach?
a seat.
Who's the West coach?
Finch.
Oh, the
Minnesota.
Wolves.
Minnesota, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like one of those coaches are going to end up playing Steph at the end. You remember what was the All-Star year game all those years ago when they put the ball in Steph's hands, but then Katie and LeBron want to double team him like a bunch of.
No, it was Harden and LeBron double teamed him.
It was KD.
No, it was KD.
It was KD.
But it was Harden was on the team, and it was his coach.
Oh.
It was his coach, and it was like he went away from Harden and put the ball in Steph's hands for the last shot.
Got it. Yeah. I hated that. I hated it so bad.
Is that when he hit 16 3-pointers?
Because he
this was
but this is the one he wanted to win. Like this one, I mean, he always wants to win it, but that was like, ooh.
I feel like if he's on a heater at all again in the All-Star game and they're just gonna like play him because like that's who people want to see. The fans still voted him second. The fans didn't vote the way they needed to, but it is worth noting the fans still picked him second, meaning they still wanted him to start.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The only guard who had more votes than him in the West was Luka. He had the second most votes as a guard. It was the media and player vote why he ended up third. But fans still wanted him to be starting in the game. They just didn't turn out and vote like the way they normally do. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
For sure.
Because if you're a coach, like, fans are really there to see. Like, has Luka even been good in an All-Star game? Like, he hasn't been.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't because, again, he's just going to walk around, all right, but he's not really into it. He's not jazzed.
He isn't. Jokic isn't. Like, that's not their thing, right? Like, they're not, like, all-star players. Like, Shea's probably going to show out a little bit, I'd imagine, right?
That's going to be fun to watch, what he does, how he does.
I really don't like Shea, huh? Warriors fans really have a thing against him. Not Justin. I know Justin likes him.
Yeah.
Listen, it's the disgusting whistle that annoys me. That aggravates me. And he does it and does it and does it. So no. He's a talented guy. Yeah.
Is that how you feel too, Greg?
Like, oh.
Not really. I like Shea. Harden always annoyed me because of his annoying whistle. The way that he played the game, all he did was just drive the hoop and try and draw a foul. I don't think Shea does that.
Really? Oh, wow. Because that's exactly what it looks like. But okay.
I got to tell you right now at this very point in time, I don't feel strongly about Shea in either direction. We'll see ultimately how that ends up. I do feel bad that my guy D Fox is not making the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I really feel like the voters, honestly, I feel like those wild card spots should be like forced that they need to be a backcourt player. I really do. Because front court players already get more spots inherently. So, I mean, I get it. I guess the Timberwolves, it was Cat who got the other spot, right? Cat and Ant are both on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue that they don't deserve two players, but
they do.
They do, but it's just like,
I don't think the Lakers deserve two.
Or the Suns, to be honest, right? Like, I thought it was funny, everybody coming for Steph. Like, he shouldn't be there. Like, come on, bro. Like, your issue isn't Steph. Like, one of them other two teams did not deserve to have two players in the game. That's my take, but whatever. So, all right. So we got the Warriors with a soft schedule, second softest schedule to win a lot. We have All-Star coming up in like another week. Brandon Pajimski makes the Rising Stars game. Shout out to Pods.
Yay.
I got some stuff coming out soon from my discussion with Pods. So stay tuned.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to Steph and Sabrina 3-point contest. That should be real fun.
Facts.
So who you got? Who you got, Natalie? Who you think's gonna win that?
I sure as hell don't got Sabrina. Is that what you're asking me? I don't have Sabrina. Okay. And shout out to Baron Davis for letting me walk with him.
Yep. Up the escalator. That's what it looks like. Coming off the escalator.
The story was actually quite funny because he was coming down the escalator. I was going up, and I was leaving this woman's brunch at in Vegas and for the Super Bowl, and he was like, "Oh, how was the brunch?" And I was like, "It was great," and I was just like, "I need to talk to you." He's like, "You need to talk to me?" I said, "Yeah." So I just got up, and then I went back down the escalator. He was already down. He saw someone else he knew, was chatting with her for a minute. So I waited. And then when he was done, he said hello to me. He actually gave me a hug. And I introduced myself, and he's like, "So what do you need to talk to me about, Natalie?" And I was like, "Well, actually." And then just started talking. He's like, "All right, you got to walk with me." But, and we went up the escalator, and he answered a few of my questions. I wanted to ask him who's going to win the Super Bowl, but as you can see, he was in a rush. I got 2 of the 3 questions that I wanted answered. So yeah. Shout out to the legend, Warriors legend, Baron Davis. Appreciate you, Baron.
B Diddy. Yeah, shout out to B Diddy. We believe in again. We believe in
when I say
TMC.
Yeah.
And I know he wasn't there for that. I just all the Warriors names.
Yeah, nostalgia.